Welcome to AM Best Audio. I'm John Weber for AM Best Audio. My guest today is Lisa Harris, EVP of Natural Resources for CAC Specialty. In this interview, we explore the complex insurance implications surrounding the Keystone Oil Pipeline spill and subsequent shutdown, examining the potential impact on liability coverage, environmental claims, and the broader energy insurance market. Lisa, so glad you could join us today.
Thanks so much for having me, John.
So, Lisa, from a risk management perspective, what are some mitigation efforts that companies should train their teams to employ to help prevent incidents like the Keystone Pipeline spill?
Yeah, I think first was in this situation, it was an employee of the company that first heard something. He immediately reached out and they were able to stop flow very quickly. So I do think it's a combination of technological advances we now have in monitoring flows through pipelines and, again, human intervention. When you see something, say something. I think that was critical in all of this. Another item was how quickly they actually were able to get back online. I know the pipeline that actually had the incident has been cut out and is being sent for analyzing, but they had supply on hand to be able to get back working. So the contingent impact to others is not as drastic as it could have been, actually. So I think a lot of that, and just ensuring that those inspections happen when they're supposed to happen and that critical records are kept.
How critical is the role of internal controls and proactive maintenance in mitigating catastrophic infrastructure failures in the energy sector?
It's very critical because this isn't a brand new infrastructure. It's existed for over a decade, and we need people doing preventative maintenance, preventative inspections to ensure the crude adequately gets where it needs to be and to ensure spills like this don't happen. Without that, again, the technological advances we have in detecting that and human intervention when we see something, I don't know where we'd be without it.
Lisa, what kind of ripple effects can a spill of this scale have on the environmental insurance market, both in terms of pricing and availability of coverage?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a complete market mover in the environmental sector. I do, however, think it highlights the need for thorough review on aging infrastructure. So I think it's going to be just more due diligence on pipelines, probably more reviews getting out there. Obviously, prices will probably go up. But yeah, I think just further scrutiny on the assets, ensuring everything's scheduled as it should be. All accurate information is captured, just something along those lines.
Have you seen any unique or unusual claims as a result of the spill?
We haven't seen any unusual claims. It is interesting. This pipeline is recently under new management. Southbow, who spun out from TC within the past year. So this will be their first incident. I'm sure they have a robust insurance program in place. And with this, the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration has requested 10 years of inspections and records on the pipeline. That is something unique we are seeing, and I'm hopeful they can comply with that to make the public, the administration, and insurers comfortable going forward.
Customize your data experience. BestLink now offers an interactive company dashboard that provides company-level intelligence in a fast, user-friendly interface featuring interactive tables, charts, and Sparkline performance histories. Customize the dashboard tiles to prioritize the insurer ratings, data, and analytics that best support your workflow. AM Best. Our insight, your advantage.
With the pipeline shutdown affecting regional fuel supplies, particularly for things like jet fuel and diesel, how should transportation and refinery clients be thinking about contingent business interruption coverage, or CBI?
Yeah, well, I hope this ends up being just a good tabletop exercise for them because, again, we were very fortunate that the pipeline was able to come back online within a week, albeit at a lesser volume. So hopefully it is helping companies walk through what would have happened in the worst case, carefully looking at their insurance values, how they schedule everything, ensuring their underwriters are aware of those critical points in the supply chain, and ensuring they have adequate inventories on hand to avoid any catastrophic type events in the event the pipeline wasn't able to come back on so quickly.
So, Lisa, what stood out to you about this incident?
Yeah, again, it's very interesting. I mean, Keystone, a lot of us are familiar with Keystone given all the publicity of the prior expansion plans in the past. And again, this was the first year, new management. So I'm hopeful this goes well for them. They're able to quickly recover, get out ahead of everything, and kind of set the right path going forward. Again, the other thing was that the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration is going to be there, and they're looking at 10 years of records, which is more of a compliance burden for the company, but hopefully they can supply that and have a good story going forward.
In your view, how can insurers and brokers work more closely with clients in the natural resources sector to anticipate and manage these types of interconnected risks more effectively?
Yeah, I think a lot of our industry, it's just still very face-to-face and person-to-person. So I hope it is site visits. I hope underwriters and their engineers are able to go out to the site, are able to see the infrastructure once it is replaced to gain that sense of comfort. It's so much more helpful in negotiating a risk for a client when the underwriters hear it from the client and are able to see the assets themselves, as opposed to a schedule on a piece of paper that has a loss next to it. So I really think it is more conversations, face-to-face interaction, and again, involving what will hopefully be great reports from the administration and all the regulatory agencies involved.
Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thanks for having me, John.
That was Lisa Harris, EVP of Natural Resources for CAC Specialty. And I'm John Weber for IAM Best Audio.
Looking to get the full attention of the insurance industry? We have the platforms that will do just that. Whether it be AM Best TV, AM Best Audio, Best Review Magazine, or Best Day. Find out more by calling AM Best Advertising Sales at 908-439-2200, extension 5399, and have a great day.